Coolio.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, choice makers, life livers, every now and again, a wordsmith comes along. And it's someone who can arrange words in a certain way. Now, you might have heard this information before, but there's something about this particular delivery, this particular articulation, that bypasses the entire intellect and speaks directly to your soul. I had this happen to me, Brisbane, Australia, a few years ago, and that artist who helped me with this transformation was none other than the mighty Mike Dooley.
Thank you, Kat. Oh my gosh.
Wow. Look, I'm here in your amazing office, which is called Heaven Cloud 4, which is pretty funny because you didn't actually organise that, did you? I mean, well, vibrationally.
Serendipitously it happened.
You know.
No, it seemed
Wow.
meant to be. Of course, nothing is meant to be, but when I was looking for office space to acquire and saw this big sign that said, "To be built on this spot, Heaven," I thought, oh wow, that's us.
It's cool.
And it has been us, and we love it here.
Yeah. Well, thank you for getting your now out with me.
Oh,
Welcome to the
honor.
present moment.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So that day back in Brisbane, it was really a monumental moment for me. And there's a few reasons. I'll tell the story separately, how I gate crashed your seminar. Anyhow, the day before that, in the mini talk, you know, the warm-up talk before the talk, you were addressing your very captive audience. I was sitting centre front, and you said to everyone, but you looked at me, and you said, do what you can with what you've got from where you are. Dun 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 dun, honestly, stars align, angels sing, and I potentially didn't hear anything else you said that day because I was just sitting there and I was buzzing so much knowing that I had everything that I needed. And that up until that point, the only thing getting in my way was me.
Yeah, it's that, you know, the main message, in other words, is that, you know, we are divine, we are creators, we are the eyes and ears of God, and that our thoughts unfailingly become the things and events of our lives. There is only us and more us. Yeah. Everything is us. Everything is who we are. So if things aren't to your liking, the solution is always going within. And the solution isn't necessarily saying, well, I'd like abundance, don't have abundance, must be something wrong with me. That's not the message. The message is there's nothing wrong with you. You couldn't be more powerful, nor more deserving, nor more adored and loved. If you want change, now that you know about the nature of reality, that your thoughts become things, that divinity dances within, now let's start pushing some new buttons and going about it in a brand new way, because the only thing that stands between you today and the life you dream of tomorrow are the thoughts, words, and actions you choose between now and then. It's not about where you were, it's not about how did I get where I am today. It's all good, it all had a place, it all had reasons. You need not figure out who you are by first asking or explaining where you are. Just know where you want to go, and
now.
you go.
Now. High five, but now.
Good one.
One of the things I realised is that it can't really be taught, it has to be caught, like you have to actually embody it. And for me there was definitely an era where I stopped chewing on all of the seminars, the books, the information, and I started applying it. Did you have a similar time where...
Wow, that is so good. You can't... How did you phrase that?
Don't know.
Can't be thought, it has to be bought, or...
Yeah, it can't be taught, it has to be caught.
Caught. That is the difference between theoretically knowing this stuff and all of a sudden becoming this stuff.
Yeah.
Did I have that moment? I'm often asked if I had a moment or a turning point or an epiphany that kind of rocked my world, and no doubt there have been times where I must have perhaps gotten into a zone. But my background and my journey to where I am today has been very conventional in a sense. Old schoolers would call it having a goal and taking massive action. You know, new schoolers would say, you know, you brought the universe to bear. Both are correct. But no, there wasn't really a single point or a single time when all of a sudden, I got it, finally I got it. It was an accumulation. It was a lot of little baby steps, most of which were taken in the dark, down dirt paths, during which I was scared and frightened. But if you just keep persisting and you keep inundating yourself with truth, being surrounded by books, watching the videos that align your thinking with truth, it's like through osmosis, this tipping point is reached and you become greater and greater, even though from one day to the next it seems like nothing's changed. And suddenly you're there, you're large, you're in charge, and it's like you automatically start getting miracles, which is one of my favorite lines from the book Illusions by Richard Bach. You know, once you understand how this world works, you automatically start getting miracles. And I see that now in my own life, and it's like things happen quicker and happen faster and happen easier, yet I'm not consciously doing anything different.
It ties in with one of my questions I have coming up about in the beginning of Infinite Possibilities. You talk about getting your groove on, and you talk about when you get in a car, you understand how to use the car, and then you learn the rules of the road so that it's a harmonious experience for you. And so why not do that with living a life? We have a body and a life to live.
I think it's not done because people have assumed that their parents and forefathers knew what was going on, and if they couldn't figure it out, we can't figure it out. And some things aren't to be known by mortal minds, and you know, you're blasphemous or really risking getting on bad terms with the big guy if you dabble in the esoteric. And it's like that has shut people down in their tracks. And plus, it's only been until recent times in the evolution of our entire civilization that we've had the freedom and the ability to become armchair philosophers and say, what if? And ask the questions, how come? And when we do stop, pause, reflect, and ask the hard questions, lo and behold, we find they have answers, simple answers that make sense, all of which empower us. God's not angry. He's not an old white man. We're not been put here to be tested, judged, and sentenced. We're here to rock and roll. We are the eyes and the ears of the divine.
Yeah.
And just like you have to know your car or the basics about your computer, this is equally true of the nature of reality. Not that it's complicated. You don't need any quantum physics. Thoughts become things. You're the thinker. You're the moving part in this kaleidoscope of now. And understanding this, understanding the simplicity of this, is what will put you on your throne and help you to blast forward. Not knowing this, having question marks in your tapestry of understanding, thinking that maybe God's judging you or setting you up for test, or that you've got karma to contend with, or an ancient spiritual contract, there goes all of your power. Know the truth. God dwells within. Nothing is set in stone. There's no destiny. That's what we're here to decide. And we decide with the focus that we choose with our thoughts, words, and actions.
Yeah. And what a mighty responsibility it is then too, because you then suddenly, oh my God, this life is the way it is because of me. Like, and that is you don't want any other design, do you? Ultimately, like,
no, you don't.
When you really get it.
At first, it's the most scary thing, and I think everybody goes through that, where all of a sudden, wow, you realize how powerful you are, and the universe loves you and is conspiring on your behalf, and then suddenly you're at this great height you've never been to before, and you look down and you realize that the buck stops here. You are entirely responsible for all of your thoughts, and it's like the bottom drops out, and you think, oh, but I had a negative thought yesterday, oh no, and I can't stop worrying about whatever it is.
Yeah.
But then that's followed by a realization with a little bit of maturity down this path that we are inclined to succeed, that our positive thoughts are as if 10,000 times more powerful than our negative thoughts, that we're more positive than we give ourselves credit for, that every day it's as if we are pushed on to greatness by our greater self, aka the universe. And so then all of a sudden you can take into stride the fact that you're going to have some fearful thoughts, some limited thoughts, and etc. So long as you do what you can with what you got from where you are, doing your best to be positive, even though it seems like all day long you worried. If you're doing your best, it is always enough. And the crises of my life, and my life has got its share, as anybody's life does, has borne this out every single time. That no
Yeah.
matter how bleak things looked, no matter how devastated I was, if I just continued to show up, you know,
Yeah.
did my best, in spite of visualizing, and the demons were still creeping into my visualizations. With each day that went by, each month, each year, all of a sudden, it's as if I would be transformed by the now.
Yeah, man.
The ever-evolving
I love
now. And
yeah. You know, one of the things that I think really helped me was when I discovered that the entire task was just to deal with the present moment and to not look at, to really get it, to have awareness, to be this conscious, deliberate creator. Or you look at the whole story of your life and you go, oh my God, I need to change all these belief patterns and la 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 la. But I actually don't have to do that now. If I just do it now, then it's all taken care of, isn't it?
That's exactly right. That's a fantastic tool for slicing through all of the gunk that we tend to be concerned with. Just get to the present moment. And another ingredient to add to that is you don't have to figure out anything. My view, and I've shared this in my works so far, is that you need not name, identify, or understand what your invisible limiting beliefs are in order to blast forward.
Yeah.
They're irrelevant. Know what beliefs you'd like to hold, dwell on them, see the validity of their truth, and then install them by acting as if they were yours. And then as you make these steps forward and you're doing what you can with what you've got from where you are towards your dream, the dots will be connected. It's as if we're swept off of our feet. And those invisible limiting beliefs will literally dissolve without our ever knowing what they were. And I've seen this again in my life. I chronicled it in Leveraging the Universe when I talked about my fear of flying. It was horrific. There had to be an invisible limiting belief. I never knew what it was. But by doing what I just suggested, knowing what I wanted to believe, and behaving as if I was fearless, within a few years, which seems like a long time at the time, but it was gone, forever gone, and I never had to figure out why.
That's cool.
So the now combined with the wow, the wow of what you want is what will literally draw you from one moment to the next.
Yeah. In NOWISM, I talk about you're either in a state of regurgitation or creation. So you're either like churning on, why am I like this? I need to understand how and why this belief pattern started.
The same thing I was
wipe
saying.
the slate clean. That's the opportunity of the present moment, isn't it? It's like your best
friend. I want to coin wowism, okay? It just came to me because of you. It'll be your sister faith, okay?
I love it.
Focus on the wow.
Celebrate.
And not the how. And
Celebrate.
it'll do exactly what you just said.
Truly.
It slices through all the other stuff.